Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the astronauts that are lost in space. Let's begin. NASA astronauts from Boeing's Starliner may be stuck in space until August. 2 NASA astronauts from Boeing's troubled Starliner capsule may have to remain in space until the middle of August, as engineers continue to work through technical problems that prevented their return in June. Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore have been on board the International Space Station ISS since the 6th June, after the first crew docking of the next generation spacecraft. The test mission was scheduled to last about a week, but Starliner's undocking was delayed several times as faulty thrusters and then a series of small helium leaks raised safety concerns. On Wednesday, NASA announced that it was still performing tests to ensure the capsule would perform as expected, and although the space agency was confident the craft would be safe for an emergency evacuation, mission managers were not yet ready to schedule its departure. Some of the data suggests, optimistically, maybe it's by the end of July. We'll just follow the data each step at a time, Steve Stitch, NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager, said at lunchtime press conference. We're going to work methodically through our process, including return flight readiness review with the agency before we get into process towards the undocking landing. This is a very standard process. He added that routine ISS crew rotation in mid-August was kind of back-end to the mission to avoid overcrowding in orbit. Obviously, a few days before that launch opportunity, we would need to get Butch and Suni home on Starliner, he said. But he noted that the space station currently occupied by a regular crew of 7, in addition to the Starliner astronauts, has sufficient supplies and resources, and there is no risk to anybody on board. That, he said, gave engineers time to perform ground fire evaluations of the replica thrusters at NASA's White Sands test facility in New Mexico, and close out to the helium leak issues he believed could be signed off by the end of this week. Mark Napi, Vice President and Program Manager of Boeing's Commercial Crew Program, told reporters that he was confident that Starliner program would emerge stronger because of the issues. All this information is going to go in a big bucket, and all the engineers are going to review it and try to see if it doesn't point to a root cause or point to some additional testing that we can do in the future to eliminate this problem once and for all, he said. Although Boeing's space operations are separate from its aviation wing, the ongoing problems with Starliner have added to the company's recent public relations crisis sparked by the crash of 2 737 MAX airliners and a number of other safety-related incidents. Despite being years behind schedule and more than $1.5 billion over budget when it launched from Florida on 5 June, Starliner was intended to restore some of the company's lost luster and offer NASA a second private commercial crew alternative from the transportation of astronauts in lower Earth orbit to SpaceX Dragon capsule. Hopefully they could bring them back as soon as possible. This has been a very science fiction situation, and being trapped up there. It must be very strange. I wonder what they're thinking. So, sometimes we can't always control what happens. This is easier said than done. But our reaction to things. So, as long as they're staying calm on both ends, and that they could get them back home, I think that would be very important, and it's good they have plenty of food. But this is a very unfortunate situation, very shady. And that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you all for watching.